Yo, what's happening, my guy? Got that fireplace, man, all cozy. Oh, so nice. That feels good on a winter morning, huh? It feels like winter here. I don't know about you guys, but GM, what's up, family? Welcome to Web3 Breakfast.
It is winter. And you know, actually, we are very fortunate.
It doesn't start until December, right? Like technically, like December 21st, I think, is actually winter, like the beginning of winter. It's like the winter solstice. You've got the summer and the winter solstices, and the fall and the spring equinoxes.
Correct. The start of the winter solstice. You know what, Turbo? Stop wishing your evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Okay? No, I do not like the cold.
No way.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Let me just tell you guys, you know, you should be happy because there's a major storm that's coming through, and it's not cold. So, you know, it's going to be some rain, maybe some little slick roads, but it ain't going to be like a blizzard. Maybe for love, but not for the rest of us, I hope.
Okay.
They said that this is... Wow. Hey, and if you guys haven't done so, make sure you join us over on the live stream as well. And if you're here, you know, and you want to participate, definitely request the mic. Come up, raise your hand, and be a part of the conversation. We only got like what, you know, one rule.
It's one rule.
Like, just
don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a douchebag.
And if you don't know what a douchebag is, it's pretty easy. Racist, sexist, homophobes, bozos. Don't be a douchebag. That's it. And no poop talk. So we had to add one more rule. Because that's just, I know. It's just everybody just runs away as soon as you mention that word. And somebody's going to inevitably like just say something about some story that reminds them of that.
I feel like every time you start talking about the poop talk, it starts to poop talk. Like,
but that's the thing. Okay, we got to cut it off right here. But that's the thing. Like, I can't even add it to the rules because then it becomes part of the conversation. So I'm in a conundrum.
Yeah.
I got the Dodo's conundrum as the host of the show. It needs to be a rule, but I can't even make it a rule because then the rule becomes a talking point.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, Matthew's coming up. I'm so happy. I did post out that little 30-second short. Did you see the short that I had posted on Twitter? It's about some earnings that are coming out today. So I tried to post that onto the YouTube, but like it kept saying like it wouldn't export it.
You and files, okay? I'm up to my neck with you in these files. Like, I'm so sick of Turbo right now, Jay. I'm like, I'm not even playing with you. I'm like, hey, I asked Turbo how many times I asked him to send the files. Like, keep sending the file. I try to send the file. The file's not compressed. No one's getting the file, but he finally got it right.
Yeah, I had to pay. I had to finally just pay, like for a PDF compressor to compress the file.
Of what file?
That's why they say
the packet.
The cost to be the boss, man. You don't get this stuff. They tell you all these things. It just goes right over.
I fought this thing for so long because it was like 46 megabytes. I shortened the pages 36. I'm like, I took off half the pages. You thought I'd have brought it down half the size. No, so it was just a nightmare, man. I finally just like did a little $5 compress this file. I don't even care. Like, I was ready to throw my computer, bro. Because AI come and be like, yo, send the file.
You handsome devils, you Matthew is Marauder. What the hell? All right, that's it. I'm changing back to my regular pro. I don't have no headshots though. I got mug shots. I want to see more.
Yeah,
They put up
Matthew
a
and I got those
mugshot.
professional headshots on lock, bro.
Oh yeah,
But we do have a hand. We do have a hand here.
Marauder.
Fernando. No, Fernand.
Good morning.
Good morning, family. How are you?
What's up? What's up?
Good. Yeah, I saw you send me an invite, and I decided to jump in just as soon as I could. Wanted to stop by and wish everybody a good morning. JC Shane, 74K, everybody here, all the speakers and all the listeners. Much love.
Yo.
Yeah, I just introduce myself real quick. I'm a content creator here on X, and I've been just following up with as many people as I can here and create content with. And I see you guys got a pretty cool thing here going on. You seems like you guys are into Web3 and finance and entrepreneurship stuff. So I'm all about it. And yeah, my platform is open for everybody that wants to talk and share their story, their trajectory, their vision, like whatever they want to talk about. And I actually got 2 podcasts set up today, one in an hour from now and one at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's a well, both of them are photographers. One is a photojournalist, and the other one is a fashion photographer. And it's really cool, man. I'm just having fun, just creating content with as many people as as my circumstances will allow me to. So
Heck yeah, man.
and yeah,
I just threw you a follow. Follow me back. Let's collaborate on some stuff. I think you're gonna work with Turbo too on some things.
well, yeah, I met Turbo on a space I hosted with Tony Bravato.
Yeah.
And he chime in. Also, I think I remember AI. AI love being there too as well, chiming in and just sharing his love and support. Yeah, just everybody in the community that I meet.
You're a wise one.
You're on the loopring thing too. So Seven's in that. So.
I love the ambition, man. You look, man. I tell people, man, that's the first sign of me fucking with you. If you ain't ambitious, man, I shoot shots all the time. All right, you ain't, and I'll put the pressure, respectfully, but I put pressure on people. I said, man, what you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Because I know the value of time. And I ain't, look, if you about your business, man, let's get down to it. Let's talk about things that are fundamental, and let's help each other out, and then let's help each other accelerate each other's goals, man. Like that's the name of the game. But you first got to have that spark. I can't help you if you don't got a spark, man. Like people say, well, why you leave me on the sideline? I could throw you in the game, but if you don't want to dribble the ball, that's on you. It's duality.
No, that's so funny. I was watching what was it like? Family Guy? No, it was American Dad. And the one quarterback, his name was like Concussion Joe. And then the other player, his name was Forfeit Larry or something like that. And like the guy comes out, he's like, I got a concussion. He's like acting all crazy.
But you see how it's good that you can identify like the players. Like you gotta know, like that's the first rule. Number one, identify the players. Like I identify associates, right? I'm like, okay, this person is this type of character. This person, and I respect people at where they're at. Like I don't try to I tell them stuff and then I'll be like, does that make sense? And nope. All right, I'll come back and I'll see you a little bit later, and then we'll have this conversation again. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to identify the key players in your role.
Well, and here was the thing, right? So the long and the short, Steve convinces the concussion player to leave the game. He pushes him out the stadium. So they have to put in Forfeit Larry, and they're like, "Don't do it, Larry." And he's like, "I have to." And they're like, "Please don't." And he, instead of hiking the ball, he's like forfeits the game. It was really, really funny. I don't really know why I wanted to share that with you guys this morning, but I feel like you need to know right now. Don't be a Forfeit Larry.
Hey,
okay?
Hey,
or the concussion guy either, but.
Yeah, don't be like Forfeit Larry. Don't just give up.
Don't just give up.
Who knows that that could be someone's strategy in the bull run, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, obviously, once we get through the chop shop here. And so be ready, guys. If you want to participate in this conversation, make sure that you come up on stage, raise your hand. That is obviously the whole ethos of this whole freaking show. And you guys know that. So by now you should know that. And if it's your first time here, well, now you know it. And so, yeah, raise your hand. Come on up here. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So that's what we want you up here talking about strategies, right? Like one strategy you guys have probably heard me say before. If you screenshot your portfolio and you send that to somebody, sell that bag. Sell that bag. Because at that point, you're happy about something. And that's, that's usually more like, we're talking about like the bull run strategy. So like, wait until at least late of 2024, early 2025.
You got about 4 in the cycle.
Don't try to top the.
I'm crying.
Don't try to top the market. No. 2025 is when the bull run's going to end.
Oh, well, Matthew is here, and I've been dying to talk to Matthew. He was busy yesterday. What's up, Matthew? Got your hand up, family.
Well, it's cracking, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Sounds
like
wonderful.
Yeah.
SEC.
Cracking. That's funny.
Yeah. So I was driving to my in-laws' house. We got to Oxford, Mississippi yesterday. So apologize I couldn't respond on the space, but I was listening in. And today this is really cool. In the morning, I just get to walk on a golf course all by myself. I got an 8-iron with me and a couple balls.
Oh, nice.
Just listening to Web3 Breakfast, getting my steps in, and trying to learn about trading strategies and stuff. I want to give a quick shout out to the Duke ecosystem. I went to a demo day that they had on Saturday. And it was really cool, y'all. Like, I really encourage you to go to your local schools or go to your local educational places and see if they got clubs going on in the Web3 space, see if they got blockchain stuff going on. Nobody really shows up, and you get a chance to be there and network with folks. And, there's a guy from Morgan Creek Capital is there. He's like 150,000 Twitter followers, 50 million funds that he's been making and building. It's just crazy who you can network with just in real life. So I encourage you to go out and do stuff. It's awesome.
That's like super important, especially right now while the interest is still low. Like, you are going to find yourself among people that you wouldn't normally find yourself among. And especially when the bull market comes, people become less available. And so, this is definitely the time to get out there. Like, we're going to be doing something at Art Basel. It's probably going to be some fancy, fun things happening. So if you are down in Miami during Art Basel, make sure you tap in with what we've got going on. But Marauder, you've had your hand up, and I know, even though I know you got a pit stand, I still would like you to go ahead.
Oh, dude, it's quite all right, man. I already got my push-ups and my dips in this morning. I'm set, bro. Yeah, I hit the gym at 6 a.m., man. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. But before I wanted to get into this strategy, my personal strategy, I wanted to echo what Matthew said. It's so important teaching, well, not just like networking at these schools, but also like teaching the youth, like teaching the next generation about blockchain, like how important it is and just how integral it's going to be in the future. Speaking of which, Matthew, I know I mentioned I was trying to talk to my school just because I have an in with my old professor at my master's program. I'm working out the scheduling right now with him, but he seems pretty interested. So I'm hoping to do a presentation on just like blockchain and how it affects real world assets, because he was really interested by that entire topic. But anyways, moving on to my strategy. I just wanted to give you your flowers there, bro. I love that. But anyways, moving on to my strategy. I honestly, I tried timing the market so many times, like especially in like equities, when I traded equities and stocks for 6-7 years. Trying to time the market is so difficult that I just gave up and started just dollar cost averaging. I know it sounds super boring, but that whole rule applies to crypto too. Literally just set yourself up a schedule, dollar cost average, find the price points that you're willing to sell at, sell like 50 or 70% of your bag maybe when we're at like peak bull run hopium, and hold on to the rest, and then just buy those dips. Like for instance, Solana just dipped down like 10%. Buy those dips. Like that's when you have that dry powder sitting aside. You buy those lower price points to lower your overall average. Because currently, like right now, I'm buying Solana every Monday. Every Monday I buy Solana regardless of what price it is. But then I set aside $50 to $100 a week so that when dips like this happen, I can just get on my phone, buy really fast. Granted, I'm not doing that on Kraken anymore, but maybe I will. Who knows?
Yikes.
All right, so
that's my strategy, guys.
All right, let me ask you guys a question, because I was talking to AI before we went live this morning, and I don't understand why this is so enlarged. This is crazy. It's just annoying. We'll just keep it on the trading thing for right now, because you guys are just talking about Solana. But I did put out a tweet this morning after a conversation that I had. Do you think that the SEC coming after Kraken has anything to do with Binance paying that $4 billion, but saying you sideline those assholes while I make some money back after what you just did to me?
Short answer, yes. Big fat yes.
Let's talk.
In all
about
honesty, I think Kraken. This was inevitable, I think, because of the lawsuit against Coinbase. I mean, the fact that Kraken, wow, Jesus, it's still early. The fact that Kraken is still operating without being sued kind of surprised me because Coinbase was sued. So I was like, okay, it's bound to happen any minute now.
Didn't they pay like a multi-billion-dollar fine already to the SEC for something like?
They paid 30 million.
$30 million. Okay.
30 million.
Yeah, their staking protocol. Because they offered staking on their platform. The SEC said, nah, fam.
All right, that's it. I'm jumping in the game, guys. Parachute open, deploy me. Shit, that's all I gotta do is pay 30 million and I made all these billions? Oh man, count me in. I want in, Johnny.
What a price of business, right? AI. What a price
interesting
of business.
game here. Like I told Jay, don't you see? Look at it. It's writings on the wall. He said, what do you mean? I said, look, they went after CZ, right? CZ says, all right, I'll give you what you want. $4 billion is nothing, silly. Just take out Kraken for me. If you can take out my competitor, this is just like the streets. And I told him, I said, this shit is just like the streets. If you pay attention to what's going on, this is just like the streets, man. You got somebody in your territory. You remember Belly when my man came to Nebraska? You know, he was eating a banana and he was like, "Who this dude think he is?" That's CZ. CZ's like, okay, Feds is on him, and he went ahead and turned over. They already working with the Feds, man. Y'all gotta understand these things. Like, y'all think they gonna let them touch all this institutional money, man? They know everything that's going on. That's why I try to tell people. And so CZ was like, all right, yeah, you got us. But look, man, you got to get them people out the way because them people own a pretty decent market share. And I'm pretty sure they got 10 times the illegal activities we do because we're trying to actually push towards regulation. So, yeah, it's just the play. I'm sorry.
All right.
Dang, I missed that. I missed that moment. I had to go let my pig in because I didn't know if you guys could hear because she was like screaming because it's like starting to sprinkle and it's cold.
She does not like.
Yo,
the rain,
she's like, let me in the house.
she's
no, bro.
She's not a yard pig in the rain.
Bro, winter is the worst with my pig because like I have to like. It's a lot, man. I got to like scrape this little sidewalk that they get her out to the yard, but she won't go all the way to the yard. So I have to like constantly clean this little pathway. Man, I would get her more involved, but she don't listen for shit, Jay. Her name is Lucy. She's an all black pig. She was supposed to be just like a
micro pig,
like a tiny pig.
A micro pig,
not micro, but mini. Not one of the little tiny ones.
Okay,
but like you know, what I mean,
not
a mini
pig.
Piece,
not one piece of bacon, but maybe 3.
You know, this pig is many pounds. She's about 150, 200 pounds. She's so fat, bro. Like I know she can't see because her face is like scrunching like all like this. She's cuckoo. She's freaking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, bro. Like you be sitting there like, you know, smoking a J or whatever, you know, and then like she'll come up, you be eating some snacks, and then she wants some snacks, right? And it's like so funny the way that she eats because she like smacks her lips, especially like if it's really good. She'll get the smack in her lips and. Then I'll look down and I'll be like, "You're such a pig," and then I'll just die laughing.
Because you really are a pig.
So now she's just obese. So I'm a bad pig dad. I'm a bad.
Is
Yo,
it a
Mama
real
Bear.
pig, or is this like a dog just like a pig?
No, it's a pig. It's like a real pig.
No,
I've seen
it's a
him.
real pig.
He's posted pictures of the pig getting its nails cut before. It's what's your pig's name? Rosie?
No, Lucy.
Lucy. Sorry, Lucy. My bad. Yeah,
she's watching right now.
You know what?
I just have to know. Do you ever fork your pig, Turbo?
Yeah, so she loves being forked. She absolutely loves it. So like pigs love to be poked with forks, which is ironic, bro. It's ironic as shit. This is a real thing, bro. Like you really like poke your pig with a fork. It's like they love it, dude.
Shut up.
I've seen many animal shows, so I just had to ask Turbo.
Okay. So this is a perfect time to announce this. And so I was talking with Wit last night, and so she's helping me. We're gonna get the merch stuff up. And one of the things we're gonna do is Monday through Friday. The quote of the day will be voted on Friday, and that winner will be turned into a shirt, and then that'll be added to the store. And so I think, obviously, like, we have to figure out some way to forking your pig.
The Mama Bear's in. Yeah, Mama Bear's is definitely up there. Turbo, do you fork your pig? She loves it. I just feel bad. I feel like we're like,
too, right? It's like a
yeah. Do you
blockchain.
fork your pig?
Fork your pig. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of.
It's a great double entendre because nobody knows if you're being, cheeky or not.
Yeah. And maybe
Don't forget to fork that pig.
Maybe instead of porn or pastry, we'll turn that segment into cheeky or not. I like that better.
It's like, man, it's really cool about a pig though. It's like when they get comfortable, that it's like fall over and they want you to like rub their belly. Oh, dude, that's like the best, man. They have very odd human skin with really long hair. But anyway, look, we have all these hands. That's enough pig talk. We only got about 8 minutes until our workout, guys. So if you haven't done so, make sure to go ahead and grab your yoga mats, your dumbbells, whatever the thing is that you're going to be doing, or just strap up your shoes a little bit so you can stand up. But I know we have these couple hands here. I do want to ask Matthew a quick question. Two things for Matthew real quick on the traditional side, and we'll slide to these hands here. Matthew, what's your strategy for retail stores during this season, right? Like, we have a lot of big stores coming out with earnings today. A lot of your big retailers, Best Buy, American Eagle, some of these players, Dick's is coming out today. If they have good earnings, is this somewhere you want to look going into the holiday season?
That's a great question. I think it's going to be, we've had some really interesting commentary about the holiday season. There's already been a bit of a slowdown. We've seen some of the major retailers have some issues. I think Walmart did pretty well. Target did pretty well. I think Walmart didn't do great. I think that was the other one. So
Walmart didn't hit.
Yeah, Walmart didn't hit. I think what's interesting is you've had a lot of consumer spending over the course of the year. I think people have gone into this pretty bullish, thinking that the economy is doing pretty well. You've got a ton of credit, which is kind of the issue. So people are doing buy now, pay later. That's one thing that I've been really trying to look at and focus on is, should we be afraid of buy now, pay later? It doesn't really show up on credit reports. It's tough to get that kind of data. So I think that companies that do that is kind of interesting, but retail's a challenge one for sure.
And then the other thing, should people get in with NVIDIA? They're going to do their earnings today. I think that's going to definitely take a shot. I mean, it's expensive. It's expensive though. That's the whole thing. And here's the other thing I heard too, Matthew, that the CEO for the ChatGPT that Microsoft just picked up, what's his name? Sam
Altman.
I forget it.
Sam Altman.
Yeah, Sam Altman. He's talking like he doesn't even want to do ChatGPT more. He wants to move into chips. And then, Bill and Melinda picking up $4 million. I mean, like, could we see another player, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah. So one thing, there's definitely going to be a number of players. I think that you want, number one, never play earnings. Like, you get burned too bad on the options, you get IV crush, you get all this manipulation, you get a bunch of stuff where people have inside information. I just never, ever try to do it. I got burned too many times. So if you like NVIDIA and you want to hold NVIDIA for 4 or 5 years, pick it up. They don't have a dividend yet, which, is fine, but like, they're still a tech company. This is still like a potential, internet bubble kind of thing. Think of it like an AI bubble. We're gonna find the value here, but I think that chips are definitely the way to go. That's like the gas stations, the oil. You should read a book called Chip Wars, which is all about the history of why chips are so important and how screwed we are if anything happens with Taiwan. They control like 80-90% of all the chips in the space. If anything happens with China and Taiwan, like, all electronics are completely fucked for the next like 4 or 5 years. Like, it's really, really bad. So chips are really, really important. And I think that they're going to play a huge role in how we progress AI moving forward. And we haven't even really started to open the bag. Like, right now, they're just video game chips, right? So they're going to get a lot better. I think chips are really, I think AMD is a strong place. Like, go.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about AMD. Yeah, 121.
Look at, to go with a strong number that nobody's really looking at.
I'm too nervous about AMD. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like really nervous that they don't have the longevity in the company itself.
When you say that, you don't know the history. They've been around for like 60 years, bro.
Right.
They've been around for a long time. They're like one of the major US players. Like, they're not going anywhere. She's amazing. Their CEO is fantastic. They may not have the crazy growth and like a market behind like NVIDIA does, but like, I don't have a problem with AMD at all.
Okay, I might put it back on my watch list. And that has been a moment of financial advice with Matthew in Turbo Made asking his questions. If you guys like that, man, Jay, I can't wait for you guys to start that back up. I mean, like, get more of that. And I absolutely love that. I love being able to chat with you, Matthew.
Yeah, two quick things. One, Jay, just so you know, I'm putting together a 10-piece episode right now for us, and I'm gonna get that to you and the team so we can figure out what we want to talk about for yeah. And then the other thing, just a shout out to Isle Marauder for an awesome new PFP. Welcome to the personal PFP club. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Love it. And you've had your hand up. So what you got for us, fam?
Oh, dude. No, thank you, Matthew. You're too kind, man. You're too kind. Your PFP inspired me, and I was like, you know what? I got all these NBA headshots that I've got stored on my computer. I might as well just use them. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of echo Matthew's sentiment again, because he always seems to beat me to these takes. But yeah, never play earnings. Never play earnings. It's always the worst move, because like the market's going to react in such a way where like if the news isn't good enough, or if the news isn't bad enough, like, the price will swing, X amount of percentage regardless either way. So like it doesn't really matter in that sense. I mean, again, if you believe in NVIDIA and like you're confident they're going to, be like one of the biggest players out there, just buy it and hold it and then keep buying it. Like that's literally just, get exposure to it. And, AMD too. AMD is a great play. Those are two very, very powerful companies, semiconductor companies, Taiwan manufacturing. I think TSM's the ticker. They're a big player too. Texas Instruments as well. I would say those four, definitely pay attention to those four. Big semiconductor plays.
Now, suppose somebody doesn't have an exposure to like the traditional markets. What would be if you were saying, all right, well, like I like what NVIDIA is doing. Give me a crypto that's going to benefit from what they've got going on.
Just off the top of my head, personally, I would think something like Render.
Yes.
Just because it's so involved with GPUs. Yes. I don't know a lot about Render. Just full disclosure. All I know is that it's like GPU sharing power, I guess. I'm still doing my research on it.
Same. Also, by the way, like if you guys saw a tweet I put out last night, I ordered my yearly subscription. Right now, you can get TradingView Premium for like 70% off, right? And so like that's a fucking scorching deal. And so I got it so that I can do I can look at multiple charts, put on multiple indicators. AJ is going to start teaching me some shit. So I invested in myself. It was like $221, right, for the next year, so that I can if I can't ROI over $200, I'm a fucking idiot. So
hang it up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's ridiculous. And so, starting to learn the whether it's the indicators, the charts, how things are kind of moving and all that stuff. So we'll see. Render is definitely on my list. Like IMX and Render, I'm keeping on this 4-panel with Ethan Solana. So shifting out the top two here.
Seb with his hand up. I like just looking at that chart.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like, yes, Evan, sorry.
Oh, so it's good. I love earnings when people play earnings and complain on the internet about how they lost all their money. It's the funniest thing. I wish there was a show where people gathered all of that shit and just played all of the disgust because they played earnings week. Because they were like, oh, it's going to pop because of and then it just like, no, it never happens. Never, ever happens the way you think it's going to, because they can, like, the people that own that shit, they will control the way that they want that shit to happen, because beyond what we think is going on, they own all of the companies enough to where they're like, and if they want it to do one way because it's leveraged one way, and they want it to do it because they see the leveraging, they're like, oh, do you see all the puts that are happening? Let's make this motherfucker happen this way. Like I see the control above it happen way too often, because it is that way. Like they're just judging by how much money they're going to make in earnings week because of these people that are like, oh, this is going to happen, and then it just completely goes sideways, and then the big boys are just smiling, eating cake in December, and we're all going, how the fuck are we going to buy Christmas presents?
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why I watch earnings, is because my mentor does a lot of puts and options. You know what I mean? And so he makes a lot of money in this time, like on those huge swings of volatility. So that's the thing. And I love just seeing all of it move You know what I'm saying? So everybody has their strategy. You know, everybody has their.
I love that.
You know, they're
like,
different.
There's a couple that you got to be paying attention to. You know, I don't want to step on any. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. You know.
Don't do it.
I loved it. There it is, guys.
I had it. I was ready. I'm sorry. I was waiting for Corey. I was waiting for him.
There it is. There it is. Coach in the building. Guys, it's time to stop what we're doing. Everybody's got to take a moment, get your heart rate up, get your blood pumping, because we want to have those healthy minds, healthy bodies, and healthy portfolios. So if you can't stand up, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, sit-ups, whatever you want to do. We'll be back momentarily. We were supposed to play the Nessie song. Damn it. Turbo, do you want to talk for just a second?
Hell yeah, I want to talk for a second. You know I do. Hey, listen, guys, this opportunity, I'm saying, to get up is so freaking important, guys. If you are not making your physical health and taking care of your temple and your body, you're never gonna reach that full potential, man. We got to take care of ourselves, putting the right things in our bodies, doing the right things, surround ourselves with people who, make this a priority in their life. And listen, we don't have to be able to deadlift 500 pounds anymore. We don't have to be able to bench 350. You ain't got to do these things. No, you don't. You just gotta be.
AI's like, yes, you do. AI, please deadlift 500 pounds. I would love to see this happen.
No, I'm just joking. I'm not. Come on, man. Have you seen me?
The far from my heyday in my viral video that would go around that we got you somehow deadlifting 500 pounds, even if we did it with some strings or something.
I love it. All right. Just here we go. All right, this is unreleased from Nessie. So
this is a Grammy track.
It's
Can you let it go the whole time?
Nope. I'm not going to do that. You're just going to get a taste. People are just going to get a taste.
You're wrong
sorry
for that.
Oh, well, you know what? Here's the deal. I'll make a deal. Like Friday, we should go back to doing the weekend review and then doing some extra tunes. Friday, we'll play the song in its entirety. So just make sure you hang out with us this week. And if you want a little taste, we'll give you a little appetizer today. We'll give you the full enchilada on Friday.
I'd usually be the one to go for some pudding, but I really like the sauce.
Can't take it serious till that deposit come. I can't come to your event if you ain't dropping none. I can't claim you bought the fam if you ain't propping up. I can't say you bought the plan unless you really copping some. I can't, bitch, I can't. I can't rip it if there ain't a ceiling missing. I can't dig it if there ain't no feels up in it. I can't kick it if my toys ain't holding millions, bitch, I can't. I can't, bitch, I can't, bitch. I can't come outside and waste no time. I gotta play it safe. I can't give you motion if your head ain't trying to stay in place. Pray it's in this real, cause it's right, only hope of saving grace. Okay.
Breathing heavy today.
I can't, bitch, I can't. Playing in the field, but even so can't get these things.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
That shit is gonna win a Grammy, dog. That's a heater.
Man, we got to go crazy with the video in Miami. I just can't wait. That video gonna be so live. Woo. Doggy, hold on to your seats.
How's it going? That's exciting. I like when he sends. Yeah. He sends it in a little.
Yeah, that's that banger for sure. What up, B Frank?
Oh, I be spamming emojis. My bad. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just over here. I was spamming
Frank,
emojis.
you say something. Don't just go to that spam shit. You give us something.
Frank,
I was hyped up. I was hyped up, and I was over here spamming emojis, just throwing my hands up. You know how it is over here. You got work. You know, they say throw your hands up. You got to spam that hand emoji over there. Throw your hands up. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. But hey, that track right there, man, let me be frank with you, man. I never been upset until you cut that track off in his face. You know what I'm saying? I've always dug this space where J Trace cut that track off in the middle. I was over here hype. I was in it. I was like, oh.
Gotta get you come back. I gotta get everybody to come back. You know, that's the game now. Gotta come back.
Yeah, definitely. And, guys, we are chopping it up today about top strategies for crushing the bull run. There was one thing I did want to touch on, which was the DCA. If the dollar cost average, if you don't know what that is, right? Let's say you bought one share, it was $50. You bought another share for $100. You're in for $150. Dollar cost average allows that to be what, $75. So now each one's worth $75.
Don't you call
that's
shares?
Something if you don't know that.
This isn't the stock world. This
sorry.
is Web3.
I'm sorry. No.
They're tokens.
Oh yeah, you're token.
Fired.
Sorry.
You're rehired, but you're fired.
All right. Damn. I was like, how do I get off of this thing real fast? I'm tired today, bro. I'm sleepy. What's up, Mama Bear?
Go ahead, Befriend.
Oh, Mama Bear's not there with us.
So when you say something about DCA, you know, a lot of times people talk about DCA and they're like, oh, well, all you got to do is skip Starbucks for a week and stuff like that. And I really don't think people really understand the cost of that 1 cup of coffee 7 days a week or that kind of deal, and how you're able to DCA by just cutting out small things you don't need.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely strategies that you can cut things out and you can add to your crypto bag. And then, you know, if you just wait until, again, I guess it's maybe up for debate. 2025, I think, is probably going to be towards the time to get out. Like, if you want to maximize what you've done in the bull run, I think, before, I mean, you don't want to try to catch the top, because you won't.
Well, this ain't your first bear market.
No.
How would you rate this? How would you rate this bear market, you know, versus some of the ones that you've been through?
Honestly, for me, this has been awesome, right? Like, we've hung out and built a community. I've made a lot of really good relationships, you know. It's been fantastic. You know, like the first one was the worst, right? Because it was just such a shock factor and I didn't expect it. And then the second time was my fault. And then, and then you know, now we're getting ready for the next one.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely relieving, Jay, because, you know, this is like my first full-on bear market, and I'm just like, golly, I get it now when people are like, yo, once you go through a bear, you know, you'll know. Now I understand.
But like, that's why we called it a build market, because I never felt like the true sense of a bear market, right? Like, it just didn't feel like that. Like, we were having a good time. We were, you know, hanging out, chopping it up, you know, communicating every day, just being a community. And so, like, that's not how traditional bear markets have gone. Like, salt levels, I mean, and obviously, like, capitulation happens, right? People capitulated, you know, even around here, but, you know, there's a lot of people that stuck around, and we built and we networked and we grew and we developed and we engaged with each other. And I think, like, that was, you know, one of the most important things, is that it was just, it was structured different, right? Like, at least maybe, like, you know, once you know, I don't know, people around you, you have a better sense of how to navigate them, I guess. Maybe that's the best way to do it, is just experience. I don't know. Maybe everybody has the same experience that I did with this last bull market. Maybe it was horrible for them. I mean, I get, like, the financial aspect of it, but at the end of the day, like, well, I think everybody in Web3, if you're still here, like, you made friends. You did something all right. You're muted.
And speaking of friends, we do have a couple of friends with their hands up. We got Grateful, and we have Mama Bear and B Frank. Grateful, you was first, but would you like to pass your mic to Mama Bear? And I know you do be working, you know what I'm saying? So if this is your opportunity, then please don't feel, you know, obligated.
Passing the mic.
Hey, my guy.
I'm
gonna put my hand back up so you don't forget about me.
You know, that's a great idea.
You were such a gentleman. I was going to pass the mic back. I just had a thought, right? I was going to interject, but I didn't want to step on anybody and be rude, so I apologize. I was just going to say, for me, I looked at it like this. I don't know how many of y'all were starving in college. I worked at the bookstore and worked at other places, so I could have a little, you know, donate plasma a couple times because I needed to go out to the club, you know what I'm saying? So college was a little stressful for me. But then when I got my first real job, it was like, what? I'm flush with cash. That's what the bull run was like for me last year. Well, then this bear is like, whew, we're back in college. We're eating cup of ramen, not even top ramen, right? The cup. And I kind of think if people have that, readjust to that and say, you know, don't forget those college days where things were lean and it was really tight and tough. If you just hold on to that mentality, when, you know, when the bull comes in, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, the bear will come back. Everybody will be better, not just dollar cost averaging, but also just drinking water when you go out to eat. That will save you $3 or $4 every time, and that alone will be your little bit of crypto investment money. That's just my take.
And if you don't get the soda at the restaurant, that's going to save you probably about a pound of sugar that you're going to ingest into your body
a month.
So
I'm not a soda fan. I do not like soda. I love soda water. I am a carbonated water junkie. I have a soda stream. We got a soda stream for Christmas last year, and I've been through several canisters of gas. Like, I'll drink a whole bottle straight up. Like, boom, boom, boom. It is like my blood type is carbonated.
damn, that's dope. Well, we were going to put something through there. I'll think about it while Grateful was cooking.
Yeah. Excuse me. Good morning.
GM.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I think everybody's excited at this point just because things finally started turning up a little bit. But it's been a rough bear market because it's so extended and long, but at the same time, that's awesome. I mean, it gives everybody more chances, gives everybody more time. But one of the things I'm doing, I'm buying a shit ton of ordinals, dude, because that sector, I feel like, is going to just be ridiculous, man. Like, the absolutely insane parabolic NFT run in 2021, that is going to happen in the ordinal sector. And shit is cheap. It's cheap as hell right now, dude. And you got to weed through them because it got kind of oversaturated for how long it's been around. It's pretty quick. But if you just, get into the inscription and the more Bitcoin heavy communities on Twitter, man, it's not hard to find stuff. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, the volume right now and last week has been absolutely mind blowing. What's been going on the ordinal side of everything in BRC20s. So that's kind of a big strategy for me to, because it's like, what's Bitcoin going to do? Like a 7x or, a 10x in an insane bull market maybe. But dude, you start getting ordinals and flipping them, and you're 60x in your Bitcoin. Bitcoin frogs are like $4,500, $5,000. They were $100 in the spring, dude. So I don't know. I'm just saying, I think that wave is going to come. And what makes me even more bullish on that is the amount of veterans that are in crypto and that have been through multiple cycles that I see on X, just talking to their buddies that still haven't even gotten involved at all. Like, they haven't even done any research or listened to anything or looked anything up. And they've been around, man, for a long time. And they're like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I haven't even looked into it at all. And that to me is crazy because the ordinal FOMO, once you start seeing all these volume charts, once we get up to the actual cycle and they're just nonstop Bitcoin NFT volume charts everywhere, that's not when you want to start learning about it. And it's honestly, there's a lot to learn about.
Do you think, honestly, and I'm asking you just because, and I'm not being an ass when I ask this, it's just out of curiosity, but do you think that people are really going to want to buy ordinals when Bitcoin starts ripping, or do you think they're going to hang on to their Bitcoin?
No, I think they're going to be wanting to buy ordinals. Yeah, man. When the narrative is there and people are making X's, you could look at,
but remember, you have to remember, retail has no money. And so we're looking at a big influx of institutional money, and institutions probably aren't going to give a fuck about ordinals, just to be perfectly honest. They're going to want the Bitcoin that they can buy and sell much easier to be able to appease like shareholders and other obligations that they're going to have. And they are not going to want to get tied up with ordinals.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to say that.
Do institutions give a shit about NFTs?
No.
Or are institutions spending 200 ETH on NFTs, 300 ETH on NFTs?
Well, I think it's maybe different. Like the technology is developing a little differently. Like, right? Like you got what California moving parts of the Department of Motor Vehicles onto the Tezos blockchain. Like, that's different. We're going to start to see, governments really start to get into crypto, really start to get into, NFTs as part of, being able to verify certain things and stuff. And so I think that, the technology is going to advance a lot faster in these other ecosystems versus the Bitcoin ordinals, which, again, to me, it seems like it was just and this is my opinion, is that ordinals was a way to get through the bear market for the Bitcoin people because they wanted to participate in the NFTs and they were sick and tired of sitting on the sidelines. So they had to do something to fit in. But ultimately, it's not going to work out. Because people are going to rather keep their Bitcoin, because that's the ethos of Bitcoin, is the store of value, the digital gold, not to do what we all did and fucking waste our bag buying NFTs. Because at the end of the day, we all have less ETH now because we bought NFTs, and that's a fact.
Right.
Do you think? Okay.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
No, go. Yeah, please.
And I love you, brother. Like this is just conversation.
Oh, no, for sure. There's tons of different opinions on this subject, and there has been since kind of this innovation started happening. So it's awesome. These are great conversations to have. But really, I think that there's a lot more to it, and the development of it has actually been ridiculously fast. Like from the spring to where people are at now. With like the bitmaps and the metaverse and everything that's going on, like, dude, it is moving at a very, very fast pace. And for me, just comparing this to the ETH NFT, sector of everything, I feel like with mass institutions getting involved and wanting to hold their Bitcoin, that is only so a huge part of this bull cycle. The limelight with all these ETFs, all this shit, all these nations trying to accumulate, the limelight's going to be on Bitcoin for a long time. All coins are going to go crazy, of course, but with the limelight on Bitcoin, man, it's only going to bring more articles and news and people talking about ordinals over here. And from a collector's and a store of value point of view, you can have an ETH NFT hosted by Amazon Web Services. Or if you're an actual collector, you can find NFTs that were some of the first inscriptions ever that are permanent. It's in permanence on the blockchain. You can go find rare sats, block 9 sats from the old. There's only eight block 9 Bitcoin in circulation. So from a historical and an actual collector's point of view, those are going to be actual pieces of history, and they're permanent. And they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So I think that aspect of it alone is going to bring a lot of actual true collectors into wanting to get involved, especially people that know this isn't going anywhere. And you think about the industry 10 years down the road, where it's like, oh yeah, well, I own, all these block 9 inscriptions. Look where this technology is now. And I bought them 10 years ago. It's interesting. I appreciate everybody's opinions on it. And I could talk about it for a really long time because I got into ordinals like really early in the spring, but I'm not going to override everybody's hands.
No. I think this is fantastic. And listen, like whether I'm coming at this from a closed mind because I think it's silly, or there's some fact to it, or a combination of the in between, like that doesn't mean that it's not a bad subject to talk about. And so I think maybe either later this week or next week, we do a specific Bitcoin Ordinals Day, and we get everybody that knows a thing or two about ordinals to come on in and put on a clinic, and let's see if we can maybe change some minds and bridge some gaps. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's wild. It's wild, Jay, is that it's like everybody's talking about this right now, man. Like I've probably heard that 6 times, you know what I'm saying? Just about like people saying that same thing, like, yo, this thing's about to skyrocket, it's like moving. And I know Violetta, she went over to the Bit House. So like in Nashville, they actually have a Bitcoin house.
Oh, really?
But like I told her, I was like, man, I don't ever
talked about that.
Yeah, I don't ever go though because it's so damn intimidating. You know what I mean? They're like, if you like other NFTs or like other cryptocurrencies, like we don't talk about that here. We only talk about Bitcoin. And so I guess she actually went. We're going to do some stuff. Like, I think that'd be definitely great. Get her involved because she actually has one of her tracks on ordinals. So I don't know who the hands were as far as like who had their hand up first.
Come back to me. I seen Matt's hand up and then he took it down, and Mama Bear. Hey, they all know more than me. I'd love to hear their takes. I might have more questions by the time it's done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
go ahead, yeah.
No, Matt, by all means.
I was just going to say one thing that people miss sometimes on a trading strategy is, how do I get more income? Like, okay, so you've already allocated your coins or your assets where you want to put them. My focus is typically on how I go get more money. So don't worry so much about where you put your bags. Worry about how you generate more income so that you can go add to those bags however you like.
I thought we were talking about art. I'm lost. But I also am doing 101 things in a frame of art and NFTs, dude. Like, it's just everything we do in a traditional sense. Just to make this simple, let's just simplify it for everybody, okay? Whatever we do over here is being done over here. So whatever's done in Web 2 is done in Web 3. You just let's not try to differentiate and make this overcomplicated. When it comes to art, art will always be used as a hedge. It's just evolving. That's it. So the traditional art collectors are going to do tangible pieces, the new artists that are creating, and then they're going to immersify the technology behind it. So, to me, when I hear the narrative that the money won't be driven into art, I'm just like, no, bro. Art will always be what it's always been throughout the history of recorded time, right? Things of value. So that can never be displaced. It's a creative side of humanity. As far as trading and investing, I mean, look, plans are based on risk tolerance. So I would say, just like the doctor tells you to see your psychiatrist. So just like the psychologist says, sees your doctor, you change your regimen. It's the same thing with individuals. My risk tolerance might be very volatile in your eyes, but my strategy works for me. So one thing I would probably do before I even got to investing, and I tell a lot of people, study thyself, right? Because you might do something that's that's inherently, you're like, wait, if I'm able to identify who I am, I can identify whether this is an impulsive decision or whether this is a controlled decision. And that's very vital when it comes to investing, right? Like they always say, take your emotions out of trading. So, if you are a person who's getting into trading or learning how to trade, my tip as far as creating a strategy for yourself would be, first find out what type of person you actually are. Are you more of a timid? Some people don't even know how to identify themselves. So I would start there.
I love that take, man. I think that's definitely great because I'm definitely a compulsive person and I'm a risk taker. You know what I'm saying? So my strategies and goals are going to be definitely way different, man. I think that's a great point. Yo, Mama Bear.
Shout out. What's up?
Hey, so good morning. So the question is, what qualifies as retail, right? Because are we talking about income below a certain level or over a certain number? What are we talking about when we say retail? Because I know we're talking about the masses, right? But what subset or what group of people is that really? Because that is my, the first part of my question.
I think it's, go ahead.
Can we give that to Matthew?
Sure. That's probably a great decision.
Just because
he pumped his hand.
It's a great question. So from a retail perspective, while there's a good amount of money, maybe a few $1 trillion of consumer retail, you and me and Jay and Turbo and everybody, retail wealth, there's $108 trillion in institutional wealth sitting on balance sheets right now. So when we talk about banks, countries, large endowments, pension funds, institutions, those are bags that are magnitudes larger than ours that come in an influence ecosystem. So we as retail traders really don't have an impact. Collectively we do, but we always think in different ways anyways, so it doesn't particularly matter.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because the reason I mentioned that is because my husband is diehard TradFi, right? He is all about the traditional finance. He is anti-crypto, which is so ironic because it's like everything I am, right? It's hilarious. But given that, his quote is, we don't spend money to save money. That's the first one. The second one is, I'm not worried about the national economy. I'm worried about our personal economy. And if I can take care of our personal economy, I don't care what the national economy is doing. So in that regard, I look at what we spend or don't spend, and then that dictates what I'm allowed to spend other places. And so I'm trying to keep track of my funds. Instead of adding more money on chain, I'm trying to make the money I have on chain work for me. And sometimes that means selling out of a project and buying into something else, or buying deeper into a project I'm already in. And those are all things that I think we should focus on. The second part is to this really is not really a question, but it's about Bitcoin, bit ordinals. When you have people who have ungodly amounts of money, what is the one thing they want? They want to flex that no one else has. So being able to have a beautiful piece of art on a Bitcoin, on a Satoshi that no one else can ever have until they sell it, that is a massive flex, and it strokes everyone's ego, especially, if you have a massively large ego that you've overinflated yourself because it's based on your wealth, right? So it's just a thought like that. We have to think how they think, and how you have to think how big money thinks. I'm big money because, and if it's because they have a rare Satoshi ordinal, then if you're going to inscribe one, make sure it's high quality. That's all I have to say. Make it as high quality as you can. Don't do a postage stamp because it's going to look ugly.
The thing I was thinking about as you were talking, Mama Bear, and as everybody was kind of talking about the ordinals and stuff, is the ordinals kind of like taking a gold bar and making a gold ring?
Yeah, kind of like you can kind of like look at it
That's
like
a
that.
really
So
good. That's actually
it's
a really
impressed
good
upon
analogy.
a Satoshi. It's
No,
impressed upon a Satoshi, and so it's like inscribed upon a Satoshi. So it's a part of a Bitcoin. It's a fragmented part of a Bitcoin, and the NFT is placed there. So that's why the higher ranking Satoshis are the ones that were minted earlier are worth more money. It doesn't even matter what the art looks like, Mama Bear. It doesn't, right? The big flex is the fact that I have an early inscription. So based off of the hash block was the amount of money that it cost for you to inscribe that, right? So the early adopters got it for relatively cheap, but now as the hash blocks continue and people continue to add artwork to the inscription, it becomes, the earlier blocks become worth more money. Inherently, it doesn't even matter what the art looks like, and that's what's dope about it.
I don't know. I can't agree with that on principle. And the principle is it does matter the art, because nobody wants to see a straight line,
Somebody paid
intersecting.
$40 million for a banana with a tape on it.
Well, that's
Art
because,
is subjective. You can never, you
mean,
can't argue. That's
I
just,
know.
it's one of those unarguables. You just can't.
I will take a picture of a dust bunny and we will inscribe that sucker. Okay, let's go.
Somebody will buy it for a Bitcoin too. That's,
I would love
somebody.
it.
I know somebody would do it. People love to just spend all sorts of crazy money on all sorts of crazy things.
That's what I'm saying.
In the bull run, though, so that's why we gotta. That's why you gotta have your strategy so that you can get yourself to the right position. All right, we got a couple more hands before we get the heck out of here. Let's go. Grateful, be frank, and then we out of here, baby.
Yo, I love this, man. I love it. I agree with both you guys, Mama Bear and AI Love. Dude, I mean, the Rock, the Rock. Somebody bought the $2 million Rock NFT on Ethereum. Well, yesterday somebody bought 2 Bitcoin rocks because they're like number 76 inscription and 200 and something inscription. The dude spent over 7 Bitcoin on one of them yesterday. We're in the bear, man, and he probably knows he's going to flip it for 20 Bitcoin later. So yeah, the art doesn't always matter. It just depends on the person. Like J-Chain said, art is subjective. The rarity matters, but dude, I'm just saying, like, if everybody's goal is to be a whole coiner, even if you don't agree with what's going on over there, it doesn't hurt to look into it, just in case you can spend $1,000 or a few $100 now and flip something for a Bitcoin later and get out. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to play it.
That's my new question right now. Would you rather have at this moment one whole Bitcoin, or I don't even know the ecosystem, the equivalent in Bitcoin ordinals right now? What would you rather carry into this bull run? A bag of ordinals or one Bitcoin?
Ordinals. These damn DJs.
You gotta be out of your fucking mind.
No,
you gotta be out of your mind.
You gotta be out your mind.
NFTs.
Hold on. All right, I'm going back. I'm going back.
I'll tell you why. Can I give y'all? I know y'all saying out of my mind, right? This is what most people don't realize about me. Yes, I am out of my mind. First and foremost,
love
correct. You're correct in that assumption. Secondly,
that is true.
Who is the fucking people that's going to be the number one recipients of Bitcoin going up that's inside of the ecosystem? The outside retailer or the people that come on later? The people that come on later, dude, we're going to be so much more wealthier than these people. That's why I laugh. I'm like, no, WAGMI is real. Like, y'all don't get it. Like, WAGMI is really real. When everything switches over to what we're doing, bro, you're gonna be living like kings and queens if you move right and don't liquidate yourself. You'll be fine. And so that's my analogy behind it. Think about the culture, think about the sentiment, and think about the times that you went through things. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and people pay top dollar for nostalgia. Let's not. And these people, you're giving these DJs all this damn money. They've been flipping these ordinals. They've been flipping Solana PFP. They've been flipping and flipping. I know some people that flip out. And I'm not going to flip out like Jerry Maguire, but I do want to tell y'all that don't displace the culture because by not respecting the culture, you'll be like Porsche trying to enter into the space. Y'all remember when Porsche tried to enter into the space? Exactly. They didn't respect the culture. They got their ass washed out. So it's the same thing.
I'm just saying, not everybody picks winners. And so if you cash in your Bitcoin for some NFTs and you're a loser, you lost your Bitcoin and then you sit the bull run out. It's all. That's what I would be afraid of, because I'm telling you.
All right. So
I love that.
I love that. To
Split it
answer
half
your
and half.
question, I would definitely take a $37,000 bag of ordinals over a Bitcoin right now. Because if you cannot,
This is not financial advice.
No,
bro, are you a good enough trader to take an entire Bitcoin and trade it up to 2 or 3 or 4 during the bull run? Because if you can't take a $37,000 bag of ordinals in 2, 3, 5, or 2 exit, then that is a serious issue, and you probably just shouldn't be doing anything in this.
Why can't I just hold the Bitcoin? Why can't I just hold it, watch it go up 4 or 5x in 4 or 5 years, and not have to have a single taxable transaction and play golf all day? Why do you worry about this shit?
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. And on that, you got to hang on. If you want to get into this spicy conversation about Bitcoin ordinals, you're going to have to come back because we're going to do an entire episode on it. Thank you so much for joining us. You make sure that you smash, if you're watching on YouTube, smash the like on your way out. And if you weren't watching on YouTube, do that tomorrow. Adios. We'll see you.